All right, it is time to get spiritually fine-tuned. And this reading is for Leo. How are you guys doing? So I'll put your cards. You have forgiveness, grief work, and windfall. You have a windfall. On the outside, you have balance. You have daydream. You have trickery. And you have creative project. I didn't like this trickery, so I'm gonna need y'all to be able to handle that, to not allow that to consume you. But we're gonna see what the reading is about. The song I got was Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. When I got ready to do your reading, it was like, you know that I can use somebody. It's like when you're down, you're not really down, but you're like, I can use you. I hope you're not doing it as a trick. Not using nobody, but saying, I like who you are. You bring out the best in me. It's like it's somebody around you. The way I feel it is somebody around you, somebody you know, somebody you met, somebody you're about to meet. You're going to be like, I could use somebody like you. They're going to bring about something in you that you didn't even know was in you. By something they do, something they say, something they give you, something that takes place, you're going to be like, you know that I could use somebody like you. So that's what I'm feeling. You at that place where you're just like, man, I want somebody to bring out the best in me. I want to experience life, but I want somebody beside me who can experience it the way I feel it, or who, either you want somebody who is on your level or brings you to a higher level. You don't want nobody beneath you. You don't want nobody trying to pull you down. You at that point where you're just like, I want somebody who's going to bring out the best in me, and we could be there together. You don't want this trickery. So we're going to see what this is all about. So you have forgiveness, Leo. You need to learn how to forgive. Leo, you got to forgive. And, in turn, you know, when you forgive others, God forgives you. You cannot have God forgive you for your transgressions and you not forgive nobody else for theirs. And also, it's about you being able to forgive yourself for what you have done. Forgiveness goes both ways. No matter who you got into it with, both of you guys were wrong. The way I always like to visualize the things I say, you don't have to take it. I always say everybody's right and everybody's wrong. No matter what you do, no matter what the argument is, both of you guys were right, but both of you guys were wrong. You were right about how you felt, but you were wrong about how you displayed it. So forgive one another, forgive yourself, and forgive the other person who you hurt, because sometimes we hurt people and we don't want to forgive them. You're like, you deserve for me to treat you that way. No, ma'am, Pam. You have to forgive them and say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Or however you do it. Sing them a song. You know, make them feel good. Bake them a cake or something. I don't know. But forgiveness is your mantra, is at the center of your reading. So this is all about forgiveness, and forgiveness clears out old grief. Look, and over here you have grief work. This is about dealing with your grief, but it's also about, as you forgive, this card also means that you are a counselor. You help other people deal with their grief and you don't even know it, but you have to be forgiving to yourself and them, because that's when the grief is released. Like I said, it clears out that old wounds. It's called grief work. We're all doing grief work. And my gosh, Leo, you guys have gotten this card. Nobody got this in their reading. Grief work. That's what it's about. Being a counselor, being a therapist, being a leader, being somebody who allows people to deal with their grief and their trauma through you, but forgiving them and forgiving yourself for being, it's just forgiveness. You are that person where people say, this is what I'm dealing with and I need you to help me deal with it. You know, even if you don't, you're like, this has nothing to do with me, but in some ways it does. If you either you're connected to them or it's something in you. Remember, when people bring about dramatic situations or traumatic situations, is something in you that's being cleared out too. It's just helping you become a better person. And look, you have windfall. If you can get through this test, you know everything is a blessing in disguise. So no matter how heavy it was for you or anybody else involved, God is granting you a windfall. Nobody has gotten this card. It's been a while since I've ever seen this card. So it's a windfall. It could be a windfall of money. It could be a windfall of joy. It could be a windfall of, creativity. You're going to experience a windfall. And if you notice, just going from left to right is grief work, dealing with all the grief that was on you, on situations, forgiving it so that you can get to this windfall of joy, this windfall of peace, this windfall of love. That is what you're headed towards, Leo. If you do what you're supposed to do and forgive others and yourself and continue on this path of grief work. That's the path that you are on. That's your call of duty, to help you and others deal with grief in a way that uplifts everybody. And You can use somebody at this time because you're like, wait a minute, I'm done helping everybody deal with their grief. I want my windfall of abundance and joy. Okay, now that's what you're dealing with on the inside of you. On the outside, you have daydream. It says you will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving this windfall without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seed of creativity. You got a lot of creativity outside of you. This is the card of creativity. This is the card of creativity. It says creative project. Your soul longs to express itself in creative ways. We're guiding you to infuse artistry and creativity into your life. Creative expression makes you feel alive and excited and reignites passion towards your life. Y'all trying to get some passion. That song said, I can use somebody. You're trying to get somebody that brings about that passion because you're like, I know that I've done this grief work and I forgive everybody, but I need some passion. Ignite my fire, Lord. Ignite my fire. And that is what is going on outside of you. You have balance at the bottom. This card is about balancing out your life. This card is about making sure that everything is balanced, but it's also about making sure that you don't do too much, that you leave family and friends behind, Leo. That's the forgiveness. Also, you have to know that if you are leaving people behind, you have to make sure that you're not doing it because you don't want to forgive them. You're not doing it out of bitterness and strife, Leos, because you guys, I don't talk about anybody, but you know, you guys are beautiful, warm souls, and you don't like to be hurt, and it'll put you in a place where you don't want to forgive, not knowing that you're not forgiving. You'll be like, no, I just don't want to deal with you. And it's like, no, you're just not forgiving, Leo. You're just trifling. I'm just playing, you're not trifling. But it's balance. It's making sure that you're not leaving the family, friends, and loved ones out because you are too busy focused on what you want. That's the balance of it. You have to get what you want at the same time, but you have to make sure that you realize that all of this is helping you and others. It's called grief work. We all have to go through it. It's grief work. Now at the top you have trickery. I don't like this card. I said, now why would Leo get trickery? I don't really know you guys to be tricksters, but you guys do have moments where you just like and it's like trickery because you can't leave nobody blindsided. You can't just be like no and cut off. That's not the importance of grief work. Grief work is humility. It is peace. It is grace. The same grace that God extends you are supposed to extend to others. Now, I'm not going to be hard on you guys, Leo, because you guys have gone through your own experiences. So make sure that nobody around you is taking advantage of the fact that maybe you are walking in forgiveness. Maybe you are doing your grief work. So make sure nobody around you is trying to say, well, since you forgive me, can I get your windfall? Can I get your money? Can I get your joy? Since you forgive me, it's like, I forgive you, but we're going to take our time. We're going to balance it out and make sure we make steady progress. We're not going to rush into it just because my blessings are rushing in. Now you want to be my friend, but you weren't good to me when I was going through my grief work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just kidding, but make sure that you guys are not holding on to the things that you have done as well, because you are having a forgiveness moment. It's a breakthrough to be able to forgive everybody and see their face and not have no animosity, no restrictions, no bitterness, no I'm going to get you back. It's just beautiful. So make sure you're not holding on to anything that was done to you or holding on to anything that you've done, because you guys have, we all go through life and we do things we don't mean to. That's why we forgive ourselves. You're like, man, I look back, I wish I wouldn't have done it. I wish I wouldn't have said it. I wish I would have thought about it and dealt with that grief in a better way. Listen, that's the trick of the enemy, to make you wish and wish and wish. It's a saying, say, don't put your wishbone where your wishbone where your backbone ought to be. Get your backbone and say, you know what, if this experience comes around again, if that person comes around again, I remember how I behaved. I remember the trickery, how I lied, how I maybe disrespected that person. I'm not going to do it again. Or I remember how they lied to me or disrespected to me. I'm not going to let it happen again. So for your roadmap, Leo, you have cleaning house. And what did I say? Letting it go. Forgiveness, grief work. All of this is about you getting rid of the old, is out with the old, in with the new, because you got some creative projects going on and you have a windfall coming in. You guys are the only sign so far that has had to really, well, everybody's dealing with something, but you guys have something of substance. What you guys are going through is of substance, is of a greater value. I'll say it that way. But it's about you dealing with you internally. See, this is all internal. It's like, I got to do this grief work. I got to forgive. And I know that I'm going to have this windfall. But on the outside of me, I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving family and friends behind, leaving anybody out. I'm also trying to focus on this creative project. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not getting over on anybody. I want to make sure nobody's not getting over on me. And I just want to, visualize that place of abundance where it's peaceful. And you're at the seat of creativity right next to windfall. This creative project is going to lead to this windfall as you sit and think about it. Constantly visualize it. Constantly remind yourself that you can have it while getting over all of this. And at the center you have cleaning house. You're cleaning house. You like, look at this. Look at all this, the lies, the deceit, the betrayals, the misunderstandings, and everything is not as deep as you think it to be, Leo. Some things are just simple misunderstandings. We just said it the wrong way. Like I said, my new mantra is everybody's right and everybody's wrong. That way I take responsibility for what I've done, and I also accept what others have done. It's point blank in the period. We all right and we all wrong. The argument was wrong, but the way you felt about it was right. I cannot be upset at you for feeling how you feel. But the words that came out of your mouth, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? The words that came out were probably wrong. Your words probably were wrong. Somebody else's words probably were wrong. But that is why God is calling you to experience this forgiveness for yourself and others and go through this grief work, because it is something that is going to help you. And maybe you need a counselor or a therapist. Either way, you have to go through it. It's a song. It says, live through it, grow through it. Who is that? I want to say it's James Fortune. You gotta live through it. But I know Marvin Sapp has that song too. God is encouraging you to live through it and go through it. But either way, Leo, you guys have some good energy, and it's coming from you walking through. I want to say walking through the darkness, but it's coming from you getting over. Just moving forward and going towards your windfall. You're going towards the light. You're going towards what matters. And you're like, even though it has been a lot of nonsense around me, a lot of back and forth, a lot of trickery, a lot of imbalance from relationships, you're like, I'm going to be creative. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, because my soul, throughout all this misunderstandings and these things on the outside of you that are not balanced and this trickery, something in your soul is saying it's time for me to fly. It's time for me to live again. It's time for me to experience life. I want my windfall so I can sit up like this. Somebody else had this card. You just want to sit up and relax. And that's the point of you going through this grief work and this forgiveness. But either way, you're like, I could use somebody at this time, somebody who's on this level of creativity and going through my soul and just experiencing life. And I just want to feel alive again. It's like I just felt alive. Like your energy is like, I'm feeling alive. Maybe you're already feeling alive, or you're wanting to. But all this that you're going through is like, come alive again, Leo. Come on. I'm like, let me hear you. You're gonna hear me roar. Katy Perry. It's like, used to bite my tongue and hold my breath. Scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agree politely. Guess that I forgot I had a choice. Let me stop singing before I butcher it. But I'm saying, you're like, you want to come alive again. You're about to come alive again. Don't even... Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. And what good is the earth if the salt loses its flavor? I'm talking about it. What good is the earth if the salt loses its flavor? So it's like this trickery. I'm stuttering on purpose, but this trickery has to go in you, around you. And once you heal it within yourself, it's going to heal around you. Once you forgive yourself for whatever you did and everybody else for whatever they did, it's going to be gone. Finito. You know what? I want to see... Something's telling me to see what's under this card, because I don't really like that you guys have it. Passion. Look at that. Didn't I say that? After you get rid of that, after you forgive yourself for that and forgive everybody, girl, you finna run a marathon. Look at you. After that is gone, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. After that is gone and you healed it within yourself and others, and forgiving others for it, this is the only time I've ever pulled the card over. It's like, why are you so hyped? Because you know that I can use somebody. It's like, you about to hear me roar. I ain't a lion for nothing. I'm not a lion for nothing. But it's about to be a passionate roar. And remember this, Reignite your passion. Leo, get with me. Tell them, get with me. Get with me. Or get ghost. I'm about to say something I shouldn't say. Something very inappropriate. Get with me or get ghost, my nigga. Either you with me or you playing these little tricks against me. Don't have time for it. Because I'm looking for my passion. And I'm trying to rock some fashion. I told them I'm classy. And they were sitting there laughing. I was just playing. Why am I rapping? I don't know. Maybe I need to go rap or something. But your passion is about to be reignited. Leo, just clean your house. Do what you got to do. It's like ain't no pity parties. Ain't no time to complain. I forgive you, not with stubbornness and pride. It's like a mutual forgiveness. It's like, man, I wish neither one of us would have done it. But we need to be passionate. I want my romance and my joy. All right, Leo, I'm going to leave y'all alone. Y'all got some good energy. It's really fun. I'm glad we got to turn that card over because I was like, now, why would Leo have trickery? I don't know them to be tricksters. I know y'all do what y'all do. I mean, everybody does what they do. But I'm so grateful that you guys are about to experience passion. I'm grateful for y'all. Maybe y'all need to be a little bit more grateful for these experiences that you went through. I'm just kidding, but just know that you're about to have some passion come in like never before. And I mean it. A windfall of passion, a windfall of joy, a windfall of abundance. Take it day by day and make sure you stay balanced. Make sure you're not walking around here. You see these people mad at this person because it's like you just a lion just going around. But now it's time to be passionate with that roar. It's time to be passionate with it and say, listen, I'm not trying to upset you. I want us to be balanced. You my family, you my friend, you my work. But I don't want us to be tricking each other. I don't want us to be lying to each other. I don't want us to be hurting each other. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong? You're not wrong, Leo. It's a good thing. Be it unto you according to your faith. But you're about to have some passionate new beginnings, Leo. That's what I'm going to title it. Passionate breakthroughs. Just passion. Just, ooh, Leos. When y'all get so passionate, ooh. I love y'all. This is y'all reading for this week, Leo.